No silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Thank you. You received the minutes of the May meeting. Is there a motion for approval?
Make a motion to wait.
If you could raise your hand when you make a motion, so.
Perfect,
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
perfect, thank you.
I'll second that motion, Dennis.
Ivan?
All right, the first one is Swigert Reverse Subdivision of Lou Anthony and Nancy Swigert are the owners. This one was a off the beaten path. Out near the turnpike where they slip in and off the maintenance vehicles. There. Some people sneak on to beat the pole walls. The is located at 34 Hummingbird Lane, Penn Forest Pines, Penn Forest Township. It's down bar to low density residential. And the combined acreage is now 2.028, and there's existing all on water and sewer. Existing brush and wood cover land tract. On-site investigation revealed existing structures with proposed combined lot. And the plan does not conform to minor plan requirements of the Penn Forest Township subdivision land development ordinance. However, the plan conforms to the requirements of Penn Forest Township zoning ordinance. And the biggest one is the plan does not conform to the required building scale of 1 inch to 50 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet. And the applicant should request a waiver from the solo requirement, and I believe we would have no issue with the waiver request. However, if it gets approved, they should put the correct, including the date of approval. Should be shown the plan. As usual, the certification of ownership not completed. The signature block down the bottom authorizing Penn Forest staff to consult with enter upon and inspect the site for the purpose of the conducting or legally determine consistency with the requirements of Penn Forest Law will not executed. And again, the significant natural features of trees greater than 80 inches caliber is not shown. And it's shown the plan, the applicant is requesting a waiver, and I believe you would have no issue with the approval of the waiver request. Survey computation should be provided to the Penn Forest Township engineer. Copies of the draft deed should be provided to the engineer, Penn Forest engineer. Surveyor seal and signature responsible for the preparation of the plan should be included in the plan. And they need original signatures because the recorder of deeds office will not accept any photocopy or duplication of the signature. I would recommend additional plan approval. All minor plan.
Any discussion? Is there a motion for conditional plan approval? I'll make that motion, Martin.
I'll second the motion, Bob.
All in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Conditional plan approval is granted.
All right, next one is Bobby Jane Properties. It's located down right up from the turnpike entrance. What they're doing. What contact map. 9,244 square foot warehouse. That's the utilities. And there's 10 sheets. With the stormwater run plans and the soil and erosion control plans. Here's that. All this main lanes, this road, this is the back. It's located at 1340 Interchange Road. And it's zone C2 commercial, 2.193 acres. It's construction of a 9,244 square foot accessory building to support there's an existing office building over here. And there's two sheds, one there and one at the front. One loading space, it includes 6 parking spaces and 1 handicap accessible parking space. One loading space is also provided on the side of the proposed accessory building. Subsurface stormwater management facility will also be provided. Access to the site will be provided via the 24-foot paved driveway from PA State Route 209. And they already have their highway occupancy permit 050622902 has been issued for a low volume driveway. There's a pipe source system, there's on-lot water and sewer proposed for the existing office building. Nothing proposed for the accessory building.
The existing office building is the, what is it's not the welfare building, is it?
No, but that gets later on, because we don't know what it is. And
Oh, okay, all right.
Just that
trying to get
three
oriented.
story one that we're
They're
modeling.
they're remodeling it right now.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, as you're going up.
Yeah.
It's an existing commercial tract. There is a brush and wood covered throughout. Moderate to severe sloping conditions exist throughout the land tract. There's an on-site investigation revealing existing office building and several sheds on the land tract. No visible barriers for development, accessory building or plan approval are noted. The plan does not conform to preliminary final plan requirements of the Franklin Township land development ordinances. The land development as proposed conforms to the area requirements of the Franklin Township zoning ordinance. However, certain requirements of the zoning ordinance are required to be shown in plan. And the minimum lot size required is 20,000 square feet, 0.46 acres of feet, like a couple acres. Applicant should verify that the accessory use warehouse storage building is clearly incidental to the principal use of the existing building. And required parking space calculations provided on sheet 1 of 10 should include the accessory building. It appears sufficient parking is provided, but the parking analysis calculations should be revised to include the accessory building requirements. Parking space dimensions, including the ADA space and access aisle, not shown to verify compliance with 507.18.12 of the ordinances, and they need dimensions of the loading space shown. We reviewed this as a preliminary final plan. Usually when in Franklin, you have to submit it first as a preliminary. Once that gets approved, then you come back with a final. However, if it meets the standards per section 28 and 29, we can review as combined. However, they pointed out also section 32C. The Board of Supervisors shall also have the right to apply any reasonable additional standards and requirements necessary to execute the purposes of the ordinance. And the approval of land development should be conditioned upon approval of the soil erosion control plan from the Carbon County Conservation District, copies of the adequacy letter, a final erosion soil control plan, if it was revised, it should be provided to Franklin Township. Upon completion of all improvements, the applicant shall provide the township plan certified by the applicant's engineer, showing all such improvements as installed. Failure of the applicant to provide the as-built plan shall constitute a violation of the ordinance and shall be subject to all enforcement proceedings that contains this ordinance. They need a certificate of conformance. No use of land or structure within the land development shall be initiated until the certification of certificate of conformance has been issued by the Board of Supervisors for the land structure in accordance with the ordinance. In cases where a financial guarantee for approval has been provided in lieu of the construction improvements, no certificate of conformance shall be issued until all the improvements shown in the land development plan have been installed by the applicant and have been completed by the applicant's engineer and verified by the township engineer. Now, the site context map. Something new that they required. Down. This is what they're requiring now, owning and Franklin Township to do. Overall site concept. And, it should be shown and include topography in the USGS map, streams, valleys, wetland complexes, natural resources, conservation services, woodlands over a half acre, ridgeline, public roads and trails, utility easements and rights of way, public land and land protected under conservation easement. The map shall show a minimum of the contours within 1,000 feet of the site, and the tributary of Pocock Creek should be shown and labeled. Preliminary resources impact and conservation analysis is needed to categorize the impacts on the proposed activities and physical alterations. To categorize the impacts of the proposed activities and physical alteration of those resources shown on the existing resources plan and site analysis plan and preliminary final resource impact for conservation. It has not been submitted. Preliminary improvement plans not prepared for the following information are shown. The zoning district boundaries within 1,000 feet of proposed land development. Supporting documentation information not included. List of public utility, environmental, and other permits required. If none are required, a statement to that effect should be put on the plan. Drainage, stormwater management plan meeting the requirements of Franklin Township subdivision land development ordinances. The Franklin Township stormwater management plan. That's has been submitted, but it has not been version implementation control. And this is the post stormwater runoff management plan. Statement indicating any or proposed zoning variances, subdivision waivers, and modifications not provided in the plan, and plan for ownership and maintenance of all improvements not provided. The developer shall provide to the satisfaction of the Board of Supervisors and prior to final plan approval, evidence of the responsibility for maintenance of development improvements. Development agreement is required to be executed between the developer and Franklin Township prior to plan approval, guaranteeing the installation of said improvements in accordance with township requirements. Drainage easements shall contain proposed stormwater management controls. All these controls, this is gonna be a subsurface drainage area under the parking area, gonna collect the runoff from this proposed accessory building, drain into a stormwater inlet, which will completely drain into the stormwater basin, and then it'll come out and there's a level spreader proposed from the storage facility. As shown in the plan, the shared access drive between David S. and Marcy Metzger are here, and the applicant is existing proposing. In the case of a shared use of an existing drive, appropriate access easements are required to be created. The easements and responsibility for maintenance shall be indicated in the final plan and included in the deed. All proposed stormwater management facilities comply with the permit requirements of Solid Section 53. And as shown in the land development plan, sheet 410. Let's make sure we'll do anyhow. The 12-inch diameter ductile pipe, stormwater pipe leads from the first inlet located near the accessory building into the stormwater management basin number 1. A 12-inch diameter HDP stormwater discharge pipe from the stormwater management basin number 1 to the level spread also is proposed. Maximum allowed drainage conveyance pipe size is required to be 15 inches in diameter.
So the final outlet to the stormwater pipe goes
The level spreader
into this forested area.
Profiles for all stormwater, proposed stormwater drainage pipes not shown. Complete profile of the stormwater conveyance infiltration system from the level spreader upslope to the first inlet, including pipe size, slopes, and lengths shall be added to the plan. The water supply, all land development served by an adequate water supply, and developers should provide evidence documenting the said accuracy. All sewage disposal systems shall be consistent with the Franklin Township sewage facility plan. On off-street parking and loading, all access drives, aisles, maneuvering spaces, vehicular service areas, and spaces between, around building designed for use by 4 or more cars other than those accessory to a single-family dwelling shall be illuminated. Per section of 61. For section 56H, applicant shall demonstrate that travel ways within the property are adequate to safely and efficiently serve vehicles which are reasonably expected to visit the property. Turning radius template developed by the American Association of Highway Transportation Officials shall serve as the design standard. Access drives and landscaping shall be defined with concrete curbing or such alternate materials as may be approved by the township. And if all approved and or required parking and loading areas serving any commercial use shall be separated from any public road right of way or adjoining property lines by a landscape buffer area not less than 15 foot wide. Under the landscape requirements, trees and vegetation, all land development shall be landscaped with property line buffers to act to integrate new development with its surrounding or separate incompatible land uses and site elements, streams to act to minimize or eliminate certain views. Property line and street right of way line buffers shall be required for all non-residential land developments. And the developer landowner should provide Franklin Township performance guarantee equal to the amount necessary to cover purchasing, planning, maintaining, and replacing all vegetative materials for a period of 18 months following installation and approval of landscaping. The landscaping notes contained in these reference sections should be put in. Lighting plans shall be submitted to the township for review and approval. And water fighting, adequate and reliable water source. Each land development should provide an adequate and reliable water source for firefighting purposes. The provisions for an adequate and reliable water source shall be submitted as part of the application. Such plans and installation shall be inspected by Franklin Township for compliance with this ordinance. And I pointed out the Franklin Township Fire Chief reviews the plans before preliminary final plan approval. Fire access roads and fire lanes should be provided within all land developments in accordance with the minimum standards set forth in section 63A. Developers shall either dedicate land suitable for recreation areas accessible to land development, or to provide a cash contribution to real Franklin Township in lieu of the aforesaid dedication. Under general design and site standards, section 80, with the access vehicle drive should be shown in the front of the accessory building and also the parking area. We don't know how wide those areas are. Dimensions of automobile parking spaces should be shown in the plan. Dimensions of the truck loading and unloading spaces shown in the plan. The materials and details of the proposed 3-foot retaining wall, which is alongside the drainage pipe, should be shown in the plan. And preliminary plans of the proposed accessory building should also be provided by the Franklin Township engineer. And the other general design standards and site standards, all those sections 80B through 80D do not apply to this proposed land development. And Franklin Township has a stormwater management ordinance post storage management plan review, and I pointed out that usually the Franklin Township engineers does that. They don't, they never take my recommendations out of change. And the preparation and implementation of the approved stormwater management plan is required to comply with articles 1 through 7 of the Franklin Township Stormwater Management Ordinance. Requirements for plans to be recorded with the seal of license engineer.
Good song. Yeah, it's a good song.
Everything is on the cover sheet. Which is really important. It's a certification of accuracy of the plan, certification of survey not completed. Design engineer statement not completed, stormwater system owners affidavit not completed. And the owner affidavit not completed. And the highway occupancy permit number for the driveway should be shown in the plan, as well as any conditions and or stipulations included with the permit. A list of tables showing waivers which have been requested should be added to the title sheet or the land development sheet, along with space to list the actions taken by the township. All review recommendations of the Franklin Township engineer should be addressed. And I pointed out that everything that areas is not conforming with Franklin Township land development ordinance and Franklin Township zoning ordinance includes any recommendation for approval of sustained development plan. And I just recommend that they review it. We've reviewed it and sent our recommendations to them for their final say.
You need a motion for that?
Yeah. Just review it and forward your comments to the.
Any discussion? There a motion to submit without comment.
I'll make the motion. George. I'll second it, Tim.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Next one is Brian and Kim Metzger, this is out. Yeah. What is it? Intersection of Chestnut Drive and Tolminster Road is Pocono Beltville Lake Estates. This is way at Tolminster Township. Way out at the end of the county. You go up Station Street and you gotta make a right and go up, and then you gotta make a quick right on Tolminster Trail Road, and it's out there. Easiest way to get there is Penn Forest Road. Straight through, turns to dirt, goes right through Franklin Township. Like one of the Station Street, because you almost get hit. I don't know if I know how that goes. Barely fine. All right, let's see here. It's located at the intersection of Chestnut Drive and Tolminster Road. Pocono Beltville Lakes Estates, zone rural conservation. It's 2.201 acres. I know the minimum out there is 3 acres for your lot size. It's brush and wood cover land tract, slight sloping conditions. One side of this investigation, we go White Oak Run traversing the rear of the proposed lots. No barriers toward plan approval of land development or notice. The plan is submitted as not conforming to minor final plan requirements for Tolminster Township subdivision land development ordinance and requirements of Tolminster Township zoning ordinance. Minimum lot size again is 3 acres and this is 3.201. However, the proposed lot consolidation includes a non-existing 35-foot rear setback line or White Oak Run should be revised 40 feet. And ownership certification and acknowledgement of plan not signed notarized. Sewage facility planning module may be required for the proposed on-site sewage disposal system. Again, I pointed out original seals, all plan review recommendations of Tolminster Township. Engineers should be addressed for final plan approval and I recommend conditional plan approval.
Discussion? Is there a motion for conditional plan approval?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Conditional plan approval is passed.
One is David E. Whitman out at Tolminster Trails. Off Creek Road, another one that's. Yeah. And I talked to the township engineer that he worked on getting this. My comments done, we're unsure of what the heck's going to do this. And the plan has not been submitted to Tolminster Township or to Jim's last meeting. Helper. Yeah, he's a zoning officer. And basically. He has this whole lot. And he wants to take off 1 acre and combine it with this 8.755 acres. Then the remaining lots are gonna be this whole tract. However, he puts here the lot line removed, so he's combining this lot with that, the acreage isn't correct. There's no bearings or distances shown where there should be. All the acreage is shown in this plan, all the sheets. It's incorrect. I couldn't determine what lot size of any of these were from when he submitted. It's just a mess. I tried contacting him 3 times in the past week and he doesn't answer. The pipe source system proposes an existing residence right at the end. This lot here. But they don't show the sewage or the on-lot water. Nothing on the plan if it's proposed or existing. It's an existing residential, agricultural, and wooded covered land tract, moderate severe sloping distance throughout. On-site investigation, of course, of the tract to build existing structures on all proposed lots. The plan submitted does not conform to major preliminary plan requirements of Tolminster Township subdivision land development. Plan, however, both lots, they meet the 3-acre minimum for rural conservation district. Again, he's gonna need a cash contribution from 2 lots. Being subdivided, plan submitted does not conform to required conforming scales of 1:50, 10, 20, 40, 60. Plan submitted, the 1 in each equals 160 feet, which you can see is not legible at all.
So is he just trying to combine those 2 lots into one?
He's trying to subdivide this lot with this tract here. But the way he went about it, he has lot line to be removed, lot line to be removed on this tract. Maybe I showed you tax maps.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is that?
There's one here, and it goes across the road, and in this section here is a lot unto itself. So he has right here, lot line to be removed, lot line to be removed, and combining all this together to create 71 acres, but it's not 71 acres. It's,
What's this?
that's the Buckeye pipeline,
Oh,
and it's, and he has no variance distances at all whatsoever. And he's collect, he has 1,000 feet, but then up here he starts again with 600 to the road. It was a hard one to read.
it's a surveyor.
Dimensions in distance shall be in feet and hundredths of a feet, varying distance for existing eastern lot line from tax parcel not shown, varying in degrees, minutes, and seconds. And again, eastern lot line for tax parcel B 202 on the plan not shown. All plan sheets should have a north arrow. Vicinity location map of both plan sheets shall contain a north arrow, written scale. Site of proposed lot line revision of both location maps should be clearly shown. It's just blocked. Total area of lots and acreage is shown in both plan sheets and within proposed lots conflict with each other and should be revised accordingly. A listing of any previous zoning approvals, variances, including action of any conditions imposed not shown. Type of water supply and type of source disposal not provided. Listing of any deed restrictions or covenants existing or proposed not shown. Required wetland statements not shown in the plan. Owner certification of the plan not signed, dated, notarized. Certification of accuracy by the surveyor not completed. Survey monuments and markers found and to be set not shown in all plans. Change here. Here. Performance. When I went out to the site inspected, I couldn't see any difference. Travel, all lots not numbered, travel way west of Wall Creek Road and Deer Lane. Not shown in plan sheet 1 and is shown in plan sheet 2 illegible. Copies of proposed draft deeds not provided, copies of Buckeye pipeline easement right away not provided. Additional requirements for lot line adjustments, annexation subdivisions. The lot line adjustment and lot line annexation subdivision note not provided a plan. Imperial lot lines to be removed shall be labeled existing lot line, which is completed on all plan sheets. Proposed lot lines shall be labeled proposed lot line. on all plan sheets, all existing buildings, including size and types used on shown the plan. Allow site inspected, there's gravel drive over here, there's maintenance building located across the street from it. They're sort of maintenance, farm maintenance buildings, what they should be shown. Utility lines, easements not shown on the plan. On-lot sewage treatment facility for existing residents not shown. Existing well location with the 100-foot isolation circle for the existing residents not shown. Survey computations should be provided to the township engineer. And driveway clear site triangle should be provided on the plan. Required site distances at the driveway intersections with Owl Creek Road should be shown on the plan. Monument markers, nope, not provided on the plan. And my general review comments, bearings and distance for both tax parcels on each side of Owl Creek Road should be should clearly shown on the plan. This proposed lot line adjustment as proposed is divided into two parcels. This tax parcel remains the same, but this tax parcel 57/39 is de facto subdivision created by Owl Creek Road traversing both of these tax parcels. And then if by taking this lot 1 acre out of here and trying to combine over here, it's blocked by the roadway. It's creating it's creating de facto subdivision. And just pointed out that the township supervisor is gonna have to look into this. The plan is submitted as in the cleaning green program. And I have trying to get this 1 acre lot to be combined here, so they have a 10 acre parcel. To keep it with the cleaning green down here. And I told them to contact the Carbon County Tax Assessment Office for assistance. Original signatures, plan comments, and the Thomaston Township should be addressed. And all this non-compliance plan deficiencies requirements of Thomaston Township Land Development approves any recommendation for approval at this time submitted for our review. And I would recommend plan rejection until they figure out what they're going to do.
Any discussion?
It's rare.
There was a motion for plan rejection.
I'm making that one, boy.
I'll second that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Plan rejection.
That's what we had about 10 years, 15 years. I remember having them.
Oh, they earned that one.
Oh, yeah, way back. All right, Kidder Township curative amendment. We received the curative amendment from Bob Yurchak, the listener. They sent everyone, Jim said if you want a copy of the proposed curative amendment. In the email, I have a resolution that they're required to do before they can do a curative amendment. And then I have all kind of comments from Ken Future, the model ordinance, Ken Future model ordinance, he included real estate comments to this model ordinance. I reviewed it I looked at the Penn Forest zoning, and they permit warehouses and storage principals and trucking companies as a special, trucking company terminal is a special exception in the industrial. And warehouse or storage as a principal use is a permitted use in an industrial zone and not permitted in any other zone in the township. Then I have notes from the resolution, notes from Suzanne Brook. Then I have the EDP review of the Blue Ridge land development plan. I have further reading alerts, Lake Carbon County and located township. Tell everybody, and I have personal notes Times news articles. But, I read everything. And basically, Peter Township has gone through this, I thought the solicitor. They reviewed all these comments also. What you have in front of you is what is proposed. And so, real quick. Basically, they got strict. The only thing that I pointed out is in the zoning ordinance. They still list development, distribution center, truck terminal as a definition. That should be removed. But, they changed minimum, the constrained land uses. They tightened them up a little bit, floodways, wetlands, and woodlands he added, and minimum lot areas. Here, logistic use, they removed warehouses under logistic uses added in there. And that, basically. Logistic use is a warehouse logistic use. And it breaks it down into small warehouse logistics use that does not exceed 25,000 square feet of gross floor area per lot. A large area, a large warehouse logistic use exceeds the 25,000 square feet gross floor area per lot. And a truck terminal is a group of buildings. And it cannot exceed 25,000 square feet gross floor area, which are required to satisfy the requirements for a large warehouse. In addition to the requirements for the truck terminal. The biggest thing in here. 180-17. G1, they're removing distribution centers and warehouses as a principal permitted use. And they're removing the distribution center, truck terminal, warehouse uses in the business light industrial district as permitted principal use. But they are adding them back in the distribution truck center, distribution center, truck terminal into the business light industrial district conditional use as a conditional use, and a warehouse in that same district as conditional. And then if you get back here, section 8104. Adding, they're taking distribution centers and truck terminals out, but they still kept that definition in, and replacing with warehouse logistic uses, which is this whole complete section. And it lists lot area requirements, use, requirements applicable to the woodland disturbance, threatened and dangerous species, riparian forest buffer areas. And it continues. Their sites is specific.
Tightened up on the environmental.
And the 180-32 is out of order. America alphabetic order, and it was an open spot that was reserved, and they have the same thing here for truck terminals. Different area requirements, signage, traffic patterns, parking, and etc. And then they revised 180-19, which had to go online because basically they have a code of code of ordinances, which we at the county had they never sent this down to us. These code of ordinances. We haven't gotten the stormwater code, land subdivision, land development ordinance code, or the zoning code. And they revise these, but if you come back here to 180-19, all these tables. In what they send us down as zoning ordinance. When they do variances, whatever, they're supposed to be submitting it to us, not just doing the code and putting the ordinance and putting it there.
Come to us first.
So I had a pretty good conversation with Bob Burchak this morning. He said he'll get us this. And the letter that I'm going to send out is the curative zoning ordinance amendment. There's two different ways of doing this. You can do a zoning amendment. And that's just a little basic here and there parts of the thing, or a curative where you invalidate all sections of the ordinance. And it opens it up under one, it's under 69.2, 609.2 of the Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code. Dear Ms. Brooks, the Carbon County Planning Commission has reviewed the requirements of section 609.2 of the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code. Act 247 of 1968 has reenacted an amendment for the proper procedure for municipal curative amendments. Kidder Township has determined that zoning ordinance that definitions and regulations regarding warehouse distribution center and truck terminal uses must be updated to preserve and maintain land uses in conformance with the goals of the Kidder Township Comprehensive. Based on a review of section 609.2, Carbon County Planning Commission believes that Kidder Township has complied with the specific requirements of the section and declared by formal action its zoning ordinance or portions thereof substantially invalid and prepared a curative amendment to overcome such invalidity. After thorough review of the various model ordinances and comments pro and con with concerned citizens and property owners regarding the proposed curative amendments to the Kidder Township ordinance, we offer the following comment. And again, I pointed out that the distributed truck centers should be taken out. And we believe that the curative amendment put forth by Kidder Township officials is consistent with the current land use practices guidelines. And I would recommend approval, or we would. And after the enactment, they should send us a copy of this updated ordinance. And I thank them for providing the opportunity to review. However, I just want to add on here. This is the resolution. There are there was a section in the Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code. I know Blue Ridge, my real estate had, I really ripped it. They proposed it all up. They proposed amendments, really ripped it apart. However, there's a section in the municipalities planning code where the agreed property owners can file an amendment and be heard at a hearing to address their grievances.
Keep track of it all.
Oh, I had it in order. Yeah, but maybe what I think.
No, I didn't take it long.
I pointed out the exact sections that persons agreed by zoning, proposed zoning, sure, okay, yeah, here it is. I put, if anyone, all the comments were taken into consideration by the Kidder Township, produce the current curative amendment. If anyone has concerns, they should bring them up at the scheduled public hearing meeting. I guess it's 29th of July.
Right.
In addition, a landowner who desires to challenge on substantial grounds the validity of an ordinance or map or provisions thereof, which prohibits or restricts the use or development of land in which he has an interest, may submit a curative amendment to the governing body with a written request that is challenged and proposed amendment be heard and decided on as provided in section 609.1 and section 916 of the Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code. So
There's a provision for it.
provisions for redress, whatever, but I don't think this is gonna fly right through that public hearing. That is it. And then,
I mean, there's one thing that we picked up earlier, with respect to the buffer yard requirements. The, Penn Future Plan, which is sort of like a model of what it is. And what they did in the, curative ordinance is they cut back the buffers by 50% from the Penn Future Plan. So that now is in the thing that the buffers are now half of what the Penn Future Plan,
That's what the Kidder Township come up with.
right.
How is this 2 mile limitation to Interstate 80 or 476 compared to the prior ordinance? Is it more or less? Or wasn't it there at all?
I don't think it was there
There
at
at
all.
all.
I think the only thing they say now, any, facility needs to have direct access to 940.
Right, in addition to being no more than 2 road miles to I-80 or 476.
And if you look at the Kidder Township zoning map, Blue Ridge actually had them to an ordinance. This is the only area where they can do BD light business development, light industrial.
Yeah.
All wetlands. So basically. No. But that's what the Kidder Township would like. Need the motion.
Motion, and, any discussion? Commissioner Wilkins? Is there a motion, for approval of Ivan's letter to?
It's still gonna be on. Mr. Franklin, you want to comment on this other,
No, I'm
just with the,
I'm here listening, observing.
with the well too up at the prison?
I have no comment on that right now. You, go ahead, you can handle
Well, okay, well, we did again, a comprehensive plan review of the Police Carbon County Correctional.
it. You still have to vote on that first order.
I'm making a motion, Dwight. You're a second.
You need a second.
Dwight's gonna second.
Okay, a second.
All right,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
basically, what they're gonna do is activate the second well of the Carbon County Correctional Facility site. And they need a chapter 102.
Here you go.
And getting back to what we do. I had to perform a comprehensive plan review of the proposed Carbon County Correctional Facility Public Water System Project for permitting of the existing well 2. And based on a review, the office determined the proposed project consistent with the goals and objectives of the Carbon County Comprehensive Plan, the Greenway Plan, and local land use practices and developments of the ordinance that impact this project. A letter that was sent to Commissioner Sefranco that has to be included with Carbon Engineering's application. We get into that again.
Yeah. So it's consistent.
So we need a recommendation.
Need a motion on that?
Yeah.
Is there a motion for that?
So move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, the last one is getting a lot of questions from the recorder of deeds, Franklin Township, Penn Forest Township, and Kidder Township. A lot of the people are going in and they're just, they have 2 existing lots and they just want to submit a deed combining all the lots together. And it's not permissible under the ordinances. I keep telling them, I wrote a letter here, a lot of improvements for Kidder Township, the consolidation of continuous lots of records, which are shown on the map on file in the Carbon County Recorder of Deeds, and which do not involve the creation of any lot lines. And they have to, the subdivision shall be submitted and processed in accordance with 15320 for minor subdivisions. A new map for such a lot improvement shall be required. And the applicable notes in section 15030 include the map, and the combination language shall also be included and for the guarantee made binding on the proposed combined lot and of the grantee for the articles of restricted covenants. I sent this out to Kidder Township and I sent it down to the Carbon County Recorder's Office deeds, and this new deed and plan cannot be. And basically what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I started. And I'm going through all the ordinances to see who has lot combinations and who has to submit a plan, and who doesn't. But as of now, every Franklin Township, and I made a stop down there too. Their old ordinance says all you need is a deed, 2 deeds. Do a new deed and go record it. Well, they still have their own subdivision ordinance online. And I says, come on, guys, get it off. Cause we had another one, the guy from New York, wanted to combine 2 lots. He went to recorder deeds office and Don and Emma said, no, you cannot do it. You're not following the ordinances. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna try to come up with a list of all the municipalities in Hardin County that has it, the ones that don't have it. And I'll have it for us, and I'm gonna send it over to the recorder deeds office. So they have it there. It's getting out of hand. You have all these land and stuff, this one here. What was she? Tri-County Land Development, Land Services. They just got it, they're from Philadelphia, out of the area. And just think they can just put them together and work. That's it.
Thanks for your hard work, Ivan, did a good job as usual.
But they're stopping them at the recorder of deeds. office.
Now they are. We had this about 10 years ago. Attorney from Jim Thorpe just combined them, had a map made up, took it down and we started recording. And I tried putting a stop to it. Had a meeting with the commissioners, everybody involved. Did go far.
Commissioner, anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Anybody?
Thank you all for your time.
Any more comments? No, okay. A motion for adjournment.
I'll make that. Mark.
Marty?
Second, Dwight.
Everybody wants to go out in the heat again, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.